the Pinky in the Brain. Like, what are we doing today?
Which one's Pinky? Which one's Brain?
I don't know. I'm the smart one.
So then you Brain, because low key, I think.
Low key, Pinky is the smart one. So that means I'm Pinky.
No,
you can be Brain.
No.
So, we're gonna talk about the Witcher prequel books. So we got The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny.
Yep.
And we're just gonna talk about how much we enjoy them, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they're short stories, which, you know, I think nothing wrong with calling them that. They're really like thematic events. I think my man Andy coined that. That are all interrelated, which is, you know, also true. So it's really the Witcher world, and you see Geralt's adventures.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like you're getting glimpses of like his life as he's going through the world of what's the name?
Through the Witcher world.
I
don't know the name.
I don't know the name of it.
So and you see that because he's a very long living being. A Witcher, I think, has like a extra long lifespan, like it was 100 years.
Yeah.
So you get to see him do stuff, you know, over his.
And one thing we talked about was his horse Roach.
Roach is the dopest.
Roach is dope, but I think we realized that he just named every horse he gets.
Yes. So because he can live hundreds of years, and I don't know the average lifespan of a horse, might be like 20,
like
25 years. Yeah. So all his horses are roaches.
Yeah.
Which is funny. But no. So before we dove into these, I think we both played the games.
Yes.
I finished it. Did both of the DLCs. Put 200-300 hours of my life in there. And was just enjoying it.
I never finished a story. I put in 200 plus hours, and I've only played side missions at like maybe half the story.
Yes, and
or main story.
Yeah, and these books are like some of the best side missions in the video game.
Period.
Like they're just like
you can tell these. I think, right?
Yeah.
These were the inspiration to a lot of those stories. Yeah. Like none of them are like spitting image. I don't think I haven't got to any that are.
Yeah,
but. They're just so a breath of fresh air, so surprising.
Yeah.
And very, very enjoyable.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about some of our favorite stories,
from these joints.
Yeah. So kick us off with The Last Wish.
So probably one of my favorite ones from this one also relates to the Netflix joint, which is The Lesser Evil, and this is basically the story of Geralt and this. I don't want to call him evil. I don't want to call him good. This morally gray wizard who lives in this tower, and this woman who's been cursed.
Yeah. Right.
And so Geralt is tasked with doing the right thing for the most amount of people, which might not always be the right thing. Right. You know. So which that conflict and that complexity really made me enjoy it. You know, it's done very well in the Netflix show as well. The fight scene was dope, and in this one you feel it. You feel that like. Although Geralt feels like he made some of the right choices, they still don't taste right. You know, and I feel like that's a really good thing in life. You know, that you feel sometimes where you're just like, this is the thing I'm going to do because it's right, but it doesn't go down smooth. You know. Yeah. So that's one of my favorite ones. Was The Lesser Evil in this joint. Another one I really liked was the Child of Surprise story, which is A Question of Price. So basically, you kind of got the origins of Ciri. You know, you kind of understood like why Ciri's fate is tied so heavily and strongly to Geralt. And then just the whole setup and the whole medieval kingdom and feast and surprise guests showing up, and it was done so well. And then just the way, you know, Geralt just makes offhanded remarks to his tradition, how it impacts his fate, probably to his death. Probably for so many other people was really dope. I really like that.
Yeah. So, it was a really great story. They do it really well in the Netflix show, the series, the adaptation as well. Yep. We have a video about that. Check it out.
That is very true. But a couple good ones from there. Q, let's talk about your favorite from there.
Yes.
Eternal Flame.
Eternal Flame.
Yep.
That is the one with Dudu. All right. So my favorite story in this book is funny. It is. I mean, if you're into like, if you're trying to be a merchant, like modern day, like investor stuff like that, you could relate to this story as well. Yeah. It's just so hilarious, so funny. We have our favorite characters in here. Obviously, we have Geralt. Then we have
Dandelion.
It's not funny without the boy Dandy. Gotta have your boy Dandy up in there.
Hilarious.
Dandelion, Dandelion. It's hilarious. Yes. He's funny. He's in this story.
It's just very whimsical, right? Like it's just whimsical. Like you bounce around and
it's mainly about them trying to find this character called Dudu Bieberveld. Dudu is going and like he's buying and selling things and brokering deals, and they're trying to capture him for a specific reason, and the story is about finding this character, but then also talking about the different creatures in this world and some of the struggles that they go through, and them trying to like help them out and making the right decision and the right choice based on just like the video game where you had to make certain decisions at a certain time. That's what this story is about. Hilarious, it's fun, it's great. Check it out.
Cosign. So if that was probably one of the most fun stories between both of these books, one of the most emotional and sad stories was the one called A Little Sacrifice.
A Little Sacrifice.
And that was another great one in that one, right?
That was another great one in this one. Now, there's a decent amount of good ones in both of them.
Yeah.
But that one was one of our standouts, one of our favorites.
It got us emotional a little bit, right?
We are all about the feels when we're reading our books.
Yeah.
Like you gotta tug at those emotions, and whether that's making me laugh or making me happy, making me sad, it did all of those things.
It did.
And listen, y'all, like I'm not easy to hit a tear. It don't come easy, but when it do, it's there.
Yeah.
And this story almost got me.
It was
there.
good, and the audiobook of it was great too.
Oh
yeah. They had the mermaids, and they had like sing-song voices, and so they sang, and like the narrator just did it so amazingly. It made me just like chuckle and laugh and like feel like I was talking to some mermaids.
Yeah.
So it's got mermaids, it's got more bards that are singing. It's got unrequited love going back and forth. It's got some tragedy in there. It's just such a beautiful story that we both, when we read that story, we called each other and was like, man, like we didn't really say many words because we were just like, man. That was a good story. That was a good story. It was really good. And then I think come to the last two that we really liked. The title of this book, The Last Wish, that was probably one of my favorite because that was kind of also the origins between Geralt and Yennefer being so tied together.
Yep.
You had Dandelion in that one as well, and he kind of saw firsthand what really bonded them. And it's cool, and it's very.
There's still some ambiguity in what the bond. There was a wish. Geralt had to make a wish, and we don't know what the wish was.
Yes, but somehow it's kept him and Yennefer always crossing paths, always back and forth, and you don't know, but it was good, and I will agree. Sometimes I'm one who kind of criticizes open-ended endings, but I really like that open ending. I like how that was done. Yeah. It was done very well.
It was done very well.
So that was a good one.
Tasteful.
Very tasteful. And then in that book, was the one called Something More, which kind of lets you know the ties between Geralt and Ciri. It kind of puts those things in perspective of why Geralt is the caregiver, taker, the father figure for this very special young woman, girl named Ciri. Yeah. So that was another really good one.
Overall, I think both of these books kind of tug on the idea behind what your destiny is, what your purpose is.
The people who are fated to be tied with you.
And whether or not you want to really embrace that purpose or if you want to deny it. And if it comes back around to you, how many times will you deny it or will you accept it and take hold and do something about it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the story is about. And it's dope.
They're both dope. So I definitely recommend it to people who like the different monsters and different magic systems, but also if you are someone who reads a lot of big books and you want a break and you want to try something new, these are probably the best curveballs, switch balls.
Yeah,
these two
because you still get your mild world building in there. Your fighting, your swords,
magic,
your fantasy, all of that is definitely in the.
But you get some good resolutions.
You get great resolutions, and they're fun, funny. There's a mix of everything in there for you. So we highly recommend checking out both of these books.
Cosign, 100%.
You'll enjoy it. I honestly feel like you will.
Yeah. So if you made it to the end of this video, give us a sword emoji.
Yeah.
The cross sword.
Cross strokes, because he got two, right?
He does. So give us the 2 sword emojis. Bridge 4. And
good job, Moash.
No, I'm not Moash. Don't ever call me Moash. I can be Lopin,
All right, anyway.
You can be Teft. So Teft, Lopin, and Teft. So So we appreciate y'all. You know, sword emojis. Y'all are the coolest people we know. Thank you.